Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. I'm here on Gumpen, Mega Field and Forest map. This is new out by beemer, 246.48 megabytes to download. The map looks like this. Mega Fields and Forest. Now, on New Farmer, we start with Field 3, Field 2, the farm area down here, Field 1. Field prices, there's no small, we're sort of medium to large. The medium-ish, around the 200,000-300,000 mark. Smaller bit of forestry at the bottom there, again then building up to the larger sections, 600,000, 800,000. The same with the fields, I think we're looking at Field 5's up there at 924, 757, 803, so they're all up there. There's no small fields. There is one drawback to this map. There's some positives, but one drawback. You can't buy any of the bits in between. All of this land in between that has potential for landscaping, for putting in production chains, sell points, just buildings. You might want to have it for grass meadows and stuff like that. You can't buy any of the verges, the periphery around the outsides of the map, unfortunately. But that's what it looks like on New Farmer. We are at the main farm, so we talk about slot count. It's 1,101 on all three game modes. As far as contracts are available on the map, it does also say that platinum expansion is recommended. That's for the sawmill. So if you buy the sawmill, it's not a standard sawmill in that it will do lumber in planks out. It's a platinum expansion one, so that if you've got the platinum expansion installed, it will do all of the products from the platinum expansion. What else? We do start with, because you own the land here, we have got a biogas plant just over there. So we go into this menu here and we go down to there. You'll see we've got the biogas plant. When you come onto farm manager and start from scratch, that won't be showing until you buy the land. And talking of which, the land, the plot we're on, I showed it but didn't actually say how much it was. This plot of land here to buy is 313,224 with all the buildings. Like I say, you have all the machinery and everything on all the game modes anyway, so all is good. This map is set in it's in the Hesse part of Germany, in the Odenwald district, which is down to the southwest in Germany. Not quite in Bavaria, but I think parts of it border it. That's where the map is set. So, what we'll do... Oh yeah, the other things. Well, required mods. There are 3 required mods as well. We've got the Chicken Coop by Camelos0397, Chicken Barn Large by Lostgamer, Vergamini Modding and Granjeiro, and the Cow Barn Big with Lizard Mixfeeder by Kastor, D-S-Agrarservice. Those ones do automatically download. Sleep Trigger is here behind our large farmhouse. Over the back here, we do have a chicken coop for 360 chickens. We do have a dog. You might have just seen the dog as I was talking, wandering about. Dog just round here, very happy, plodding around. We come round into this section here. Large chicken pen, 1,500 chickens from the dialogue box. Work. There we go. 1,500 chickens with the feed point being just there. Then we've got a water tower. We've got a solid fertiliser tank and a liquid fertiliser tank. Liquid fertiliser, 173,500 litre, can be filled, purchased. And then the solid fertiliser, 60,000. Bit of shed space up there with no machinery in it. We come down. It's kind of split level, the farm here. Come round the back here. We go around the back of this one. Slurry point just there. That's the milk point there. Dialogue box just here. Cows 500 in this one. Now this is the one, like I said, I don't always, when we do bit of storage and stuff down the bottom there as well. When we want to do map tours, if there's required mods, a lot of them, a few of them, it's not a mod review. A lot of the required mods will have been reviewed already, but this is the one where you put the separate items in, like the feed robot ones, and then on the hour, the piece of machinery here chugs along between each one, and it does a slow meander round. Get in here. comes around the track, follows it round, feeds the animals, and then goes back inside again. So that's the one with feed robot. Manure heap just here. Bale storage for 250 bales. Just in here. Back down the side again. As far as I can tell, there are, I mean, it doesn't say anywhere, there are no collectibles. Liquid manure tank, just there. The silo is an NL16 2000, 2 million litre standard crop types in that one. Should have on the other side, but there's a little track that runs down here. Plenty of shed and storage space. As I said, biogas plant, once you purchase this plot of land, you get the biogas plant anyway. 250 kilowatt, fairly standard inputs and output and recipes. But you do have your own on-site biogas plant, which is always handy, isn't it? Then we go up around here to our equipment and machinery. It's all here. So we've got ourselves a Massey, front loader gear, seed around the side there. Is that Pertina? What one's that one? Terrasem. Harvester, header and header trailer. Actually, I'm going to grab the tractor now. Swing round down to the bottom because this is where we're going to be heading out towards the rest of the map. Barn and storage space just here with a workshop trigger in the end of this shed here. Trailer, sprayer, cultivator and plough, second tractor just there, third tractor just here with forage wagon and mower on the front. That's our equipment. We could go in and have a look here. It's all the stuff we've just seen. Our two small tractors, our medium tractor that we're in, harvester, trailer we just saw, header, plough, cultivator, header trailer, front loader tools we just disconnected. So that's all the equipment you start with for your 1101. That's something I haven't tried to do, actually, thinking about it. Oh, there you go. I was just curious whether or not you could sell all the buildings. It looks pretty much like it. So if you wanted to clear it, I don't have any animals in here. If you wanted to clear the yard completely... Oh, I forgot about the chickens, sorry. The sheep. We've got a sheep pen over the back here. As we came round and there was the bale storage for 250. We've got sheep, 25 sheep in that will hold. Tucked away around the back there. Can we do the fencing as well? We can. There we go. So, if you wanted to, that's interesting. There's nothing in there. Because on the map, if you look bottom left, actually we'll go into the map and zoom in there. That shows two buildings on the map, which is curious because everything else is on there. I've got the all installed mods, but there's nothing in that pit. Well, I guess it gives you the option to put stuff in. But anyway, as you can see, you can remove everything, including the fencing and stuff around it. So if you want to get the slot count down and sell the animals and sell the vehicles as well, you could, and you can get the slot count down a little bit lower. But I mean, 1,101 is pretty low anyway. But there might just be the odd shed here and there. I always say that you can get it down too. And that's like not worst case scenario, best case scenario, but it might be sometimes in a yard you might look and think it's a bit cluttered, or I don't particularly like that barn, or I want to swap out the silo, you know, just gives you options. So, heading out. Now this is a rolling landscape, wide open, plenty of space, but it's an interesting one in that, well you'll see when we get there, production chains. I'm trying to think of another map I've come across this before. Like I say, you'll see when we get there. It's quite sparsely populated, which is actually quite nice for a map tour. When you think the last couple I've done, especially was it Bergen-Landkreis was, I mean, rammed. That was insane. This one's actually feels quite sedate and quite relaxed in comparison. And this one actually caught me out a few times. I'll explain why when we get there. So we've got a vehicle store. So vehicle store trigger is just there, with the workshop trigger just around the back. I do like the fact as well, this is one of those ones, you've got the vehicle shop and you've got some sort of new gear and stuff out here, but you've also got, they obviously work on old gear or it's just there for display. But anyway, workshop trigger around the side. This is also the reset point for the map, so if you need to reset any pieces of machinery, they will reset back here. There's a couple of places when I'm looking at a map to do a map tour, I'm looking at locations and driving to them to work out where they are and access and that kind of stuff. On the map, and it's probably just me and my eyesight, I'm just zooming out here because the map's that's a little bit blurry, but if we zoom right in, when you can see, yeah, it's just me, I think, being a buffon. But it wasn't always clear when I drove past an entrance or a driveway that was going to the place I was going to, if it makes sense. You'll see when we get there. But heading across the map, we're heading west towards the main town itself. And it is one of those deceptive maps that it's like I say, it's frustrating. All of this land, all of this around here, all this lovely grass, you could do grass work or, like I say, add in whatever you want. You can't buy any of it. But it is what it is. Right, pull over just here. We come to the bakery. If we come up to the bakery, actually might be around the front we need, I think it's around the front. There we go, just here. We go to the bakery. 0. Doesn't cost you anything to get the bakery. Now, as far as I can tell, going around and checking, they're all standard standard production chains. Under build mode, I always check in the menus as well for build mode. Anything put in by the map maker in the build mode. There's nothing put in by the map maker, there's just the required mods in here under build mode, so nothing over and above. So under productions and factories, there's nothing been modified or changed, so these should all be standard. All of the productions on this map, as we go around, are all 0. They won't cost you a penny to buy them. Like I said, there probably is or are some maps that have done that, or there might be the odd production chain or something here and there that have been free. I'm just trying to remember, I can't think of one. But yeah, they're all free. Happy days. Right, we're going to head down here. There's a little bit of backwards and forwards at this point, just because the next point we've got to get to is down here out the way, but it gives you a chance to get a feel. Like I say, it's a nice rolling sweep to it. The forestry is all up in the northwest corner of the map. I say all of it. I mean, I suppose technically, yeah, because all of this, you can't buy the land. So all the trees here, you can't actually cut down. I know it's a futile thing, but I will. Let's do that. That. Thank you. Yeah, let's go straight. Yeah. Possibly it'll get an update, I don't know. You never know. Now, turning is here. I think because I was looking at my map, I was looking at my notes, I was making my notes while I was kind of going along and looking on to the bottom left to where it was. Drove along the main road and thought, hang on, how am I supposed to get to this? There's this little side track here that runs right the way down the back, which brings you to the next point, which is the animal dealer. And pet trade bale sale. So there's your livestock market, animal dealer, and then pet trade bale sale just around the corner there. So we have gone from the main farm here up across to the vehicle shop, across, we've done the bakery, we've come all the way down here, and we're now at that point we're going to drive back up to here. So I'll see you back up there in just a moment. Actually, while I'm driving up, that's one thing to point out on the map. The behemoth airship flying around the map. That one's an absolute monster. Now, I can't miss the turning here, because for the next point we need to get to, the turning is just here, which again caught me off guard. We'll take this track here, brings us around the back to the farmer's market. Which is just around there. Which I could have shown you from the road, but it was the track, like I say, that kind of caught me a little bit. I drove across the front and thought, hang on, there's hedge all the way around this, how am I supposed to get to it? Up into the main town proper. We'll pull over just here because we have got across the way biomass heating plant. That's not a production chain one, this is one where you just put the lumber in, and lumber and straw, lumber and wood chips, and you get paid for it. Across the road we've got our dairy, also free if you want to do some dairy work, and across the way there we've got the spinnery, also free. Only risk with an update for the land is potentially these get charged, unless that was intentional. I'm assuming it's intentional by the map maker. So yeah, free to a good home. Same with the spinnery across the way. What I'm going to do, if I miss the turning, don't think I. No, just here. Gas station just over there. We're going to go past that again in a moment. Oh, just noticed that. Tree in the middle of the road. Which will probably require an update because you can't remove it. Take a whiz out to that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's forestry. It's a forest. You might not want to do forestry at all, but there is an absolute mountain of it to do. I mean, I suppose literally a mountain. Sweeping up, I mean, it's handy because the land is, like I said, it's fairly sweeping landscape. It's not, yeah, it's quite a few trees actually. I've got a funny feeling we might get an update on here. But from here, if we jump into build mode and zoom out, you kind of get a feel for the size of it. Tracks, yeah, there's quite a few, aren't there? But it's not going to be, I don't think, technically difficult to forest. It is more sweeping than it is. Sometimes you get really mountainous maps and you get ones you think, wow, okay, that's going to be a real challenge doing it on here. But I suppose if you've got the pattern expansion as well, with the cable yarders and stuff, that adds to the challenge of using those. I like that as an option. But anyway, yeah, massive forest. So, gas station. Up the hill. This facility here. That's going to probably sweep straight over us. On some maps you go, I'm trying to think, was it Giant's Island? There's one now. There's been a couple of versions, haven't there? With the big old airship. So we've got Farmers Trade Sell Point, which is that one just here, between the concrete things. Mine's blanked. Lime Station. And then we've got Fertiliser Point for buying, just there, so buy fertiliser. Around the back we've got buy seeds, which is just under there. We've got a turning coming up on the right. So up in here we've got the grain mill, production chain, also free. There we go. Pallet spawn here. As far as I can tell, putting in is done here because this here is a mineral feed buy point. So we've got fertilizer buy point, seed buy point, and mineral feed buy point just here. So that's your grain mill. Then from here again, making sure I don't miss the turning. I think it's just here. Yep. Got into the northeast of the map. Oh. Under its shadow, there we go. It's very strange. I've probably said this before, not far from where I live there's an airfield, and when it was still an airfield, which became Leavesden Studios, which became Warner Brothers, for a long period of time they had an airship that flew out of there, and you could go on joy rides, whatever you want to call it, and you would pay, and it was quite expensive I think at the time. I always remember my dad saying, oh, I'm not paying that, but you know. And it always looked so graceful in the sky. As I've got older and you see them, especially like that, it's got a very menacing feel to it. It's just like this huge thing gliding through the air. It's just, I don't know. That's more my perception of it than the vehicle, the actual thing itself, but you know what I mean. So, last point we're going to come to. Now, the roadway runs all the way up and round. We can cut across and cut through if we want to. Doesn't matter, we'll drive round, but... we come to the sawmill, which, as I said, it does recommend is the word, not require. It does recommend platinum expansion. So if we come over here again, free sawmills for everyone. Buy that, and then click on it. You'll see wood planks, wood beams, wood planks. Something is they're all showing wood chips. That's interesting. And wood prefab wall. That's weird. I'm sure I put on. Because that's just showing planks and wood chips out. Bear with me a second. I think that was a case of do as I say, not as I do. I didn't put the platinum expansion. I didn't select it, did I? Oh, dearie me. So, it does go to show, though, if you do buy it, 4.0, you can just still put lumber in. You've got multiple ways of producing it, but if you do it now, hopefully... There we go, wood beams, wood planks, prefab wall, outside, planks, wood chip, wood beam, planks, long, prefab wall. So with platinum expansion on, it will be a platinum expansion sawmill. And that is the map. Starting down there, winding our way across, out to there and down, back up through the town, quick detour out to the forest there, back up here, to the grain mill, out to the sawmill. That's Gumpen by Beemer. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.